Hi, welcome back to our social networking app tutorial. In the previous tutorial we complete the implementation of the like and unlike. When we click, it works and save our data to database, and we add our data also to the Redux store. So in this tutorial we want that if we click on the comment, it takes us to another page. And when it takes us to another page, we will have a post, which is this post, a particular post that we click on the comment and the comment that are below the post. So the first step to doing this is, what we will do first is we need to add the function that if we click, it takes us to another page. And to achieve these pages, different pages, we will have to use the React router. Okay, so the React router, we need to install the React router in our VS Code to use it. We use it to navigate around posts, and also we access the ID of the post in the URL, and you will see this later. So now let's create a new terminal. So here it is. Here we are not already in the directory of our social app. So let's go to the social app using the cd command. Social app. Okay, so here it takes us, then we need to install using the npm install React router DOM. So we are installing the React router DOM. npm install React router DOM. Okay, so let's click enter. So it will take a time, and then it will start the installation. Okay, now we successfully installed React router DOM, and here it is. Now let's go back to our development terminal. To check for the React router DOM, you will go to the package.json. Inside the package.json, you see we have React router DOM. Here it is. Okay, now we will continue with the development. The first step is that we will wrap this component, or we will wrap this element around the router, so that we can assign each component to a path. So we use the React router here to assign the post box to its path. Each component that we have, if you want to give it a particular URL, where when you try to access the URL, you will get the component rendered on the URL. Okay, so first thing, we need to import what we will use for this, which is router route, and let's do this here. Import and browser router from as router. Then we need this router, which we will wrap all the element that we have here around the router, and we also need the route. We need a route, which we will have all our route inside or within this route. Okay, so the last thing we need is the route. Okay, the difference between this route and this, the route that we have this with s consists all the route that we will have. Okay, we will define all this route inside this one. Okay, let's set from React router DOM. Okay, so now let's use this. First we need the router. router. Here it is. Sorry, let's have it within the element router, and then inside this router let's copy all the code that we have inside our return for the app. Okay, so we have this, and now we will change this implementation. Now it will not longer look like this, so we need to define a road where we will have all our road inside. The difference between this road, I repeat, is that let's have it like this. We define the road, all the road that we have inside this road. Okay, it means this is it means plural, that is a lot of road, and the road means the singular, that is we have each road within. So let's have the road, and inside this we will define a path. We will give a path to a particular component. So let's have this. We define this path like this, equal to, then we have this path. Okay, I will give this path to our post box, which is already, it is on this path. Okay, I will give it to the post box, and how will I will give it is that I will call the element, then equal to, so inside this we will have the post box. So let me have the post box here. Okay, so this is how we assign this to our post box component to this URL. So let's save the changes, and remember this URL means that the same as URL that you see here. Okay, just adding slash does not make it different from not having it. So let's add the slash and refresh, so you will see it remain on this. Okay, so that means it works as we expected. Okay, now the next thing we will do is that we will assign another road to a component. How we do this, just we need to let duplicate this without. Okay, for this one here we need a post, that is, and we need the, we will pass the ID inside this URL so that we can access the ID and find the post comment. Okay, so that's why we need the ID here. So on the component that we will render here is, we will define a component single post. So but we are not using the single post. Now we will continue with the implementation for our React router, which we will use to have our single post ready later. Okay, now inside the component let's define a new file, call it single post to JS. Okay, and let's use the React code snippet to generate. Okay, inside the single post we doesn't need this for now, so let's have something to show us that we are in the component single post div, and h1, let's have h1 and set single post component. Okay, remember we need to give this name a class, and it is single post. Okay, so now let's duplicate this here. We need to export the class as well. and we need to import a component because we extend component here. Let import component from React. Okay, it's okay now. So now I have said that we need that if we click this, it takes us to the component single post, and we define the single post here. So let's go to the React app.js. Okay, here is the app.js. Now we will change this to single post, but we need to import the single post. Let's import single post. Okay, from component single post. So let's have it here instead of a post box, single post. Okay, so now we finish with the app.js. That not all what we need to have to go to the single post from here. This is not all what we need. The next thing we will do, let's save this and then create a class with router. It is a parent class that enable our component to redirect to the other URL. So, and we will use navigate and use params, which the use navigate is a hook which allows us to navigate around posts, and the use param allow us to access the URL parameter or the URL value. So now let's create a new file. So the name of the file is with router. Okay, with router.js. So click enter, and then first what we need to do is that we will import the use navigate, which allow us to navigate around posts from the React router DOM, and use param, which allow us to access the URL parameter. So let's do this. Import use navigate from React router DOM. It import the what we use params. Okay, now we imported the use param. So now we will define our with router. We will start with the export. Okay, const with router equal to, because we will have a child component. Now we need to add this is a parent and the child will use this, so we need to pass the component here, and then so the first thing we also need the const wrapper equal to props. Then so here we will call the use navigate. We will initialize the use navigate. We let name this navigate equal to use navigate. So, and we also need our use params as well. I already explained the uses. This allow us to, the use navigate allow us to navigate around posts, and the use param allow us to access the URL. So let me just change this name to params. like this. We have navigate and we have params, and then what we will return, we will return the component. So let's have the component here. So inside this component we will pass we have defined navigate here, so let's have navigate equal to navigate, and we also have the params equal to params that we have these params. Okay, so the next thing we need a spread operator for the props. Okay, so let's pass this. So the spread operator, it allow us to pass other props, okay, to the component. So let's have these props. Okay, so now we will return the wrapper. So let's return the wrapper, return wrapper. So, and that is all. We finish with the router. Okay, the next thing we will use our router. Remember we said that we want this if click, it takes us to another component, and we finished defining the router, so we will use it. So where we actually have this icon, if you remember, we have this inside the reaction, and here is the icon for our comment. So we will pass the function as prop. As we pass all this, now we need to copy the on click, so that when it is clicked, something will happen, and what will happen is we will use this function that we will define, so and pass it as prop to this on click. So we will have what will happen later inside the function, so that when it click, it will navigate to the single post component in the app.js. Here inside the not app.js, here it is. You see we have this implementation, and we have the single post on this part, and now we are trying to define this part. Okay, so let's go back to the reaction.js. You see, so now we will use this on comment inside the post reaction. Let's go to the post reaction. Let's have it here for our comment. You see we have for unlike, for like and unlike. So let's have this here. Now what remaining is that we will define the function, so to pass here. So first let's go to the top of the class, and then have the name of the function. The name of the function will be open post, and it will receive an ID. So this ID will be passed later, and you will see how we will pass it. So we need to have this dot props dot navigate. You will ask how we get this navigate. So we get this navigate inside, we are accessing it as prop in the with router. We will use the with router later, we will bind it to this class. Okay, so now let's use the backtick operator followed by post. So now how we will pass this ID to the URL, we will use the $sign, okay, then followed by the ID. So that is all for this, and we need to bind this to the constructor. So this dot props dot this dot open post equal to this dot open post, then bind this. Okay, we are binding this method here, so let's pass the method that we just defined. So for this we need to have this dot open post. So where we'll get the ID for the particular post, you see we are passing the post ID here, and here where we'll use it. So post ID. Okay, so we are passing the post ID for each post that it click. This post ID, we will use the post ID inside the open post, and we will navigate to the URL with the ID. So let's save the changes first. Okay, so as you can see, we need to use the with router here. So let's have our with router, because we are accessing the navigate as prop. This is a child component for our with router. So with router, let's copy it inside the curly bracket like this, and then we will have all these as well inside the curly, inside the bracket. Okay, so let's save the changes. Okay, now that it is saved, we have import with router. You see it is imported automatically. So let's check the with router. You see we have the navigate that we access as prop, so we have to save all the changes that we made. Okay, you see we are having this error. Let's check what it is. Okay, it is from the use param. You see we have use param here, and we also have imported it here. We delete one of them. So let's go to the with router, and then I will choose to remove this. Okay, then save the changes. You see now we have no issue. Okay, so now let's test the implementation to see if everything works for us. First, refresh it from here before trying to. Okay, by clicking this, you see it takes us to the social app single post component. Here we write the single post component. You see the ID 1. That is because the first post is of ID 1, and when we access the second, you see we have ID 3 because the second post in the DB have the ID 3. So wherever we access, it will take us and have, you see ID 5, that is it have ID 5. So in the next tutorial we will start the implementation of the single post. So let's meet in the next video.